What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. So this video is a little late. Last week was my birthday, it was super busy, and it also came with a few surprises. But we're gonna talk about that another time, guys. I don't want to take away from this video, but thank you so much to everyone that's kind of like spread so much love to us, saying congratulations. Like, it's meant so much to us. And the good news is there is actually going to be a full video on the engagement as well. So keep an eye out for that. Fingers crossed it'll be out next week. Let's get back to the video today. I'm going to be showing you guys some healthy food swaps. So I've had a few conversations lately that have prompted me to make this video. You know, whenever anyone talks about wanting to get fit or wanting to be healthy, they literally talk about plain chicken, plain rice, like steamed broccoli, all of this stuff that doesn't sound quite exciting, to me anyway. You know, I definitely meal prep, but all of my meals, I think, are super tasty. Like, there's not one thing I can tell you that I've cut out of my diet. You know, say if I fancy a chicken pie, I'll make the cream out of almond milk and I'll use phyllo as a pastry. So I want a chicken curry, I'll make it with a light coconut milk base. You know, there are definitely alternatives out there which will just make your meals healthier. I feel like when we decide to like kickstart a healthy diet, it's kind of like we have a all-in attitude. So it's like all of a sudden everything's got to be super clean, you clear out the cupboards, and then what happens after a few days? You pick up something to snack, or you just make an unhealthy choice simply because, well, it's not fun, guys, let's be honest. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've seen some people post like their meal prep and the meals they have, and that's great, you know, if they really enjoy that and it's nice for them, but when I look at it, it doesn't excite me. Like, eating for me is a joy. I love eating and I don't wanna make it feel like a chore, and I don't want it to be something I don't look forward to. So for me, finding alternatives was a way for me to be able to eat whatever I want without fully restricting myself, but then still staying on track, you know, of my fitness goals. So I'm gonna show you guys some of my healthy food swaps and alternatives that I use pretty much every day. So before I get right into this video, guys, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well if you enjoy it, and we're gonna get right in. Now, my favorite food to cook is actually Thai food. I adore it. I'll make like some stir fries, especially with prawn and chicken. It tastes so good. So, you know, soy sauce is a favorite of mine. Like, I love it. I love the taste. If I have sushi, I like to dip it in soy sauce. You know, soy sauce is so high in sodium. You can literally taste it. So a good alternative I found is organic coconut aminos. You know, the best thing about this is it's soy, wheat, and gluten-free as well. So if you're someone that has these allergies, then coconut aminos is definitely a good choice for you. You know, it pretty much looks and tastes like soy sauce, I'm not gonna lie to you. So definitely try this, guys. I got this one from Trader Joe's. Hopefully it's not too hard to find, but if you're a soy sauce lover like me, then definitely try coconut aminos. So my next substitute should come as no surprise to you guys because, well, let's face it, quinoa is literally everywhere these days. Okay, so why quinoa over white rice? So basically, quinoa contains high amounts of fiber and protein, and it just has more nutrients compared to white rice. So you're basically just gonna get more from your meal. Also, if you ask me, I actually prefer the taste of quinoa. You can literally substitute it for any rice dish and just have quinoa instead. To make it extra tasty, sometimes I like to actually cook it in fresh vegetable stock or chicken stock. It really gives it a good punch. So lately, yeah, I definitely have been opting for quinoa over rice. Okay, so my next substitute is actually plain Greek non-fat yogurt over cream or sour cream. This has got to be one of my absolute favorites. So while the calcium content is probably very similar to like cream or sour cream, Greek yogurt definitely has less calories, less fat in it, and more protein. You know, I'd say the taste and the texture is pretty much the same. Actually, 100% the texture is similar. Like, if you serve this to someone, they wouldn't even be able to tell by the consistency of it. You know, you can serve this in curries. If you're making chili con carne, you know, you kind of like to put the dollop in the middle, you can use this instead. The other day I wanted to make like a tuna pasta salad. You know, you have like pasta, tuna, and then sweet corn. And a lot of the time people will have mayonnaise with it, but instead I literally just used a bit of this Greek yogurt, stirred it all together, and it tasted amazing. Also, I want to mention that Greek yogurt has the added benefits of probiotics. So So if you've seen any of my snacking videos before, then this one will come as no surprise to you guys. It is homemade popcorn over crisps or chips, as they say in the US. Okay, so to put it quite simply, homemade popcorn is less calories, less in fat, less in sodium, and it generally has more fiber and protein content than most crisps out there. For me, it tastes so good as well. I literally just put it on the stove with a tiny bit of olive oil and then let it pop away. Like, it's super quick and so tasty, you don't even need to add anything to it. A lot of the time with crisps, it's the seasonings and whether they're fried that makes them so like naughty. But if you're making this at home, you know exactly what you're putting in. And also I find this is so affordable. Like, this bag is so big. I've made so much popcorn out of it. And I think it cost me about $3. So yeah, added bonus. You know, another good alternative to crisps is dried fruit. You can also get like frozen dried fruit as well. So they're a little bit crunchy. They taste so good. You can get like strawberries, banana, mangoes, pineapple, anything. So next up is for you sweet treat lovers out there. So it is using dark chocolate over milk chocolate. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like dark chocolate is quite an acquired taste. You know, this one that I have, I actually stick to 85%. I tried to get 90% chocolate and it was just a little bit too bitter for me. But you know, if you kind of wanna start getting into dark chocolate, you can start with 70%, 75%, and 80% to see which one you like. Basically, dark chocolate contains about half the amount of sugar that milk chocolate does. So basically, the cocoa bean contains a great source of fiber, protein and minerals as well. And basically dark chocolate just contains more of the cocoa bean. So like I said, this one is 75%, whereas compared to milk chocolate, there's a lot of maybe like sugar and milk added in. You know, touching on the minerals it has, it's like iron and magnesium. So really, if you're having dark chocolate, it's just a lot better for you. And I actually have this kind of like 1 cube during the week if I'm having like sweet cravings, and you know, you don't feel any way about it. So yeah, dark chocolate. I'm sure it's not a new one that you guys have heard. So next up, we have whole wheat pasta over white pasta. You know, this substitute I feel like is one of the most simple ones because the taste, the texture, and the look is so similar. So basically, whole wheat pasta is higher in fiber. It contains more vitamin E, vitamin B, and antioxidants compared to white pasta. So like I said, it's just a really simple alternative. You know, maybe you have to be a bit more careful when you're cooking it because I feel like sometimes can get a little bit sticky, but you know, if you cook it right and keep an eye on the stove, it'll come out perfectly. I also want to show you guys this pasta, which you can also use as a substitute for white pasta. It's basically made from lentil, kale, broccoli, and spinach. So, you know, it's a whole mix of vegetables that you can have with your bolognese, you know, chili con carne, any of that jazz. One thing I do want to say though, guys, is don't be afraid of carbs, okay? Carbs are not the enemy and you need them in your diet, all right? So just don't be afraid of carbs, guys. There's a few substitutes. You've got whole wheat, or you can go with vegetable pasta as well. So if you've seen any of my snacking videos, again, you'll know I love to make little homemade protein balls, really quick and tasty snack. So these make a great substitute for protein bars or cookies. So I'm not gonna say that all protein bars are bad because that's not the truth, but most of the ones you find in like gas stations, they're so high in sodium, sugar, and calories. And if you're making them at home, you just know exactly what's going into them. You know, you can use your favorite protein powder as well, so you're making sure you're getting the same protein content. And yeah, it's just super tasty and convenient. Make them in batches as well, so you have them on hand. So yeah, for me, I just take some time aside on a Sunday to make a couple protein balls. And yeah, it's got me good for snacking for the week. All right, so next up we have almond butter over dairy butter. So I just wanna say, I'm saying this for when you're baking. By the way, guys, I'm not saying, you know, put almond butter on your cheese toasty instead of actual butter. But yeah, when it comes to baking, I feel like almond butter makes such a great substitute. You know, you can substitute it for either peanut butter, normal butter, or any other fat really. Okay, so why? You know, butter has a higher saturated fat content, probably due to the milk in it, and it's a lot higher in calories and sodium. Whereas the fat in almond butter, it's a monosaturated fat, so it's the same sort of fat you find in your olive oil. So they're the good for you fat. So yeah, try it out. I feel like almond butter also has also has a real interesting taste to it. So you can get smooth or crunchy, and you know, it can kind of change the texture of it in a good way. Okay, so next up, I'm not gonna lie, you're definitely gonna get a different taste with this one, but I find it more refreshing. So it's fruit infused water over fruit juice. This actually looks really good, right? So, one of my favorites to do is cold water with strawberries, lemon, and basil. Tastes so good, especially on a summer day. So this will come as no surprise to you, but fruit juice pretty much has no fiber. It's extremely high in sugar and calories. So instead of your morning fruit juice, why not just try fruit infused water? You can drink the water, so that's your water intake as well, keeping you hydrated, and then you can eat the fruit as well afterwards. You know, so it's full of fiber, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, all of this good stuff that is found naturally without all that added jazz that just isn't necessary, you know? And it tastes so good and it looks good. So guys, there are so many easy substitutes you can make. So I really challenge you to find a way to have your favorite foods, but try and make them healthier for you and your family. You know, if you love sweets, try dried mango, you know, or dried pineapple. Dried fruit contains so much more fiber and nutrients compared to your everyday sweets. You know, of course, it is still high in natural sugars, so everything in moderation. You know, so when you dry fresh fruit, you lose the water in it, and that kind of like concentrates the sugar, which gives it that really naturally sweet taste. Another favorite of mine is homemade granola over packaged granola. Pre-packaged granola usually contains, you know, so much salt, so much sugar, and just all these added flavors that aren't necessary. Whereas when you make them at home, you'll know exactly what is going in. So guys, I'd love to know if you're interested in using some of my substitutes, and if you did try it, how did you find it? What did you like or not like so much? So before you go, don't forget to press that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys soon. Love and light always. Mwah.